back again, guys. How's everybody doing out there? As always, uh, still continuing the list. Countdown still continues, and we're in the top 10 now. So it's kind of a question you probably ask yourself. So who's in Chris's top 10 for favorite Native American fictional characters? Once again, I appreciate everybody who's been giving comments on the first two parts. And I negate any ignorant people who come by and talk crap on there. So, but all those who give positive feedback and everything like that, I appreciate that very much. You know, uh, I make no qualms about it. Yes, I am a half. I'm a half. I'm half Native, half Black. So this is my contribution to it, and I have a lot of favorite characters who are of Native American background. And this is what this is all about. Just my way of paying respects. So we left off basically, guys, with number 11, which was Torok. And I loved the last comment I saw. Someone said they like Torok too, so I appreciate that. Torok's bad. That's a bad dude right there. But we're in the top 10. So let's move on to the top 10. So this is going to be 10 to 6 right here. So let's start it off with none other than we move on to the world of X-Men. So yeah, we're thinking about a mutant. So who's this? No, well, none other than Forge. Yes, Forge. Forge to me is a great character. He is of Cheyenne, I believe. Yeah, he's Cheyenne. I believe he's Cheyenne. He's Cheyenne, and Forge, to me, is not just the kind of, quote-unquote mechanical greaser geeks in a sense. His mutant powers are so interesting and cool to me. They're unique, and I hate when people downplay his mutant abilities. This guy can make anything with just odd parts that you would think nobody can make anything with. If you were to bet, for example, he's in a scrap yard and it's just old, broken down things and everything like that. And you tell him, I bet you could make a super rocket engine with just these parts. I guarantee you'll lose that bet. He is a valuable asset to not just the X-Men world, but just to his people, to the Cheyenne Nation, and I love that. I love the fact that Forge is like that, and he's had a relationship with Storm, and at one time they kind of made him bad, and I didn't like that, but I'm glad to see that he's still around, and he's still doing his thing, creating crazy stuff, and it actually works. It doesn't break down. It works, and it is so cool, and I love Forge. Forge makes my number 10 for me. So yeah, I would love to see him put into a movie sometime soon. Just figure out who could play Forge. Maybe Lou Diamond Phillips. I don't know. But we move on to number 9. Number 9, actually, she's more of in Daredevil's reign. She was a former lover of Daredevil. She's a former Avenger. Unfortunately, she was killed. Thank you, Bendis. She was killed by Count Nefaria in Moon Knight, in the last Moon Knight that Bendis and Malieve did together. Man, pissed me off. But I'm talking about Echo. Maria Lopez. Now, yeah, she is of mixed race, just like me. She is of Native American and she's Latin, I believe. She's mixed as well. But she showcases her heritage very proudly. And that's one thing I like about her as well. She's a great martial artist. And like Daredevil, she has a handicap too. Daredevil, he's quote-unquote blind. But Echo, she's deaf. She can't hear, but she can read lips well. She was Ronin for a while, before she passed it on to Hawkeye and things like that. Like I said, she's been an Avenger for a while until Luke's team broke up and she went out west, and she was out there for a while undercover, and her and Moon Knight started to get a little together, and then she was killed off by Count Nefaria, who was the kingpin of LA for a while. But Echo's just a great character. I wish she wasn't killed off. You know, that's you Bendis, but she was a good character, very much. And wherever she was needed, and when she was utilized in anything she was in, they utilized the fullest of her, and that's something that I like about her as well. She's just a great character. So big ups to the half-breeds. Yeah, but yeah. So let's move on to number 8. Number 8 here. And number 8, we're going back to Alpha Flight. Yeah. Another one of my favorite Alpha Flight members. I respect every Alpha Flight member. I respect Omega Flight, I respect Gamma Flight, and Beta Flight. But with Alpha Flight, I respect them all. But Alpha Flight, I have a few favorite characters on Alpha Flight, and this one, because of the fact, not only is she's Inuit, still native, indigenous to this land, she's a half god. You guys should know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Snowbird. Yeah, Snowbird is the demigoddess of the Alpha Flight, and I always thought she had her powers are really cool. Like, she can turn into the various animals of Canada. Polar bears, wolves, owls, you name it. She's had a thing. She's kind of had a thing with Hercules and things like that, and their relationship is kind of rocky. She's been with Wolverine a couple of times as well. She's just really, really cool, and I love her character. And I'm not saying she can't morph into other creatures. I've seen her do other things, but I mainly see her with bears and wolves and owls, and of course, you know, you've seen her on, like, you know, that one appearance on X-Men as well, you know. But she's a great character. She's still around. She's still around to this day, and I'm glad to see that. But once again, you know, you want to see more from characters like, especially characters like this, and that are part of Alpha Flight. Alpha Flight, period. You know, yeah, people downplay Alpha Flight, and I hate that. Alpha Flight is a great, you know, team, and if you do utilize them well, they are pretty damn well. It's pretty damn good. And Snowbird, she's one of my favorites. She's right up there, like I said, with Shaman. And I think out of the original members of Alpha Flight, the next favorite is Puck. I love that little dwarf. I love that little dwarf. He's so cool. But yeah, those Alpha Flight members, Snowbird makes number 8. Great character. If you don't know a lot about her, look her up, research her, get your homework, do your homework, dudes. I guarantee you'll fall in love with her like I did. All right. So we move on to number 7. And number 7, first time I saw this guy was in my number 1 favorite hero of all time, Spider-Man. And I'm talking about Mr. Thomas Fireheart. Yeah, Fireheart or Flameheart. Yeah, it's one of them. Puma. First appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 256. Puma, to me, at first, I dug the character. I'm like, okay, this guy's pretty cool. He's like a were Puma, you know, something like that. He can transform into this Puma-like humanoid. His tribe is based in New Mexico, but they never indicate what tribe he's a part of. They never indicate it. And at times, you know, I was like, yo, what is your problem with Spider-Man? Why do you keep going after him? And, you know, there were times, you know, Peter was even thinking the same thing. Like, why are you, I've done you no harm. But his tribe is kind of like they are trying to make the perfect warrior. and that's pretty much what he's supposed to be. But the other thing is, he's wealthy. He is extremely rich. He's got his own business, and that's really cool and is great as well. Now, Marvel doesn't utilize him as much as I wish they do now, like in the past. But I'm glad to know that he's still around. He's not. He wasn't killed off. He's not. Yeah, he's just what I like to call in that comic book void. They don't know, you know, the company don't know where to use him or utilize him and things like that. But if it was me, man, I got plenty of places to utilize Puma. But he's a great character. He's got super strength. He's everything you would think of with somebody who was. Think of a man-sized mountain lion Puma with the attributes of a cougar, a mountain lion Puma. That's what you got. Super strength, agility, heightened senses, razor sharp claws, you name it. This guy can match speeds with Spider-Man. He took it to Peter. Not gonna lie about that. This guy is a badass if he is to really full blown go out on you. And that's something that why he is so cool and in a sense underrated in terms of his abilities. But Puma makes my number 7. Great character. Once again, as always, for all the characters, you don't know anything about them, research them, you know, and tell me what you think about them. Alright? So we move on to number 6. Number 6. Number 6, we'll go to Image. Image, Top Cow, you know, and this is my favorite character from the team known as Cyberforce. And that's none other than Ripclaw. Ripclaw, patchy, badass character. Basically, the way I can think of Ripclaw in a sense is he's a mutant too. The Cyberforce are mutants, but they're also augmented with cybernetics as well. But think of Wolverine if he was Native American. That's pretty much what you're looking at. And Cyberclaw and Wolverine have met before. They've met before, and they teamed up together. And Ripclaw is a dude you don't want to screw around with. I would hate to meet the guy that goes up against him, or you don't want him being your enemy. I guarantee you. Nowadays, his cybernetics have gotten so badass now that he can actually shoot like shrapnel out of his arms now and out of his talons. Like they grow in claws. He has, like I said, same abilities you think of a Wolverine, he has. But he's a great character. His mutation at first came from, first it was his skin that went all pale looking like that, and then later on everything else happened. But once again, another character, if you don't know about him, research him. Great character. And I always thank Mark Silverstone for creating them and things like that. Good character, nonetheless. So yeah. So there you guys have it right there. 6 to 10. We're down in the top 5. Who can be in the top 5? Anybody want to take a guess? But you guys tell me what you thought about these characters. And as always, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace and love. Stay tuned. Keep it real, guys. As always, I'll be back with the top 5 soon. Real soon. But other than that, guys, the countdown continues. One more to go. And other than that, laters.